Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Stock Market Daily Update. I am Aditya from Mostly Bearish. Today, on my Telegram channel, I had specified that the main trades I'm going to be taking on is Nifty options itself. Now this live stream is going to be segregated into three parts. The first one, I'm going to be explaining about the different types of trades that I took on Nifty, showing the spot Nifty chart just for the analysis and just for the understanding purposes. I hope you guys learn from that so that you can implement it when you see such kind of moves happening. The second is analysis on Nifty and Bank Nifty for tomorrow. Now, the third part is going to be about your stocks. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at, just leave it in the chat box. So let's get started. First of all, the first update was I knew that Nifty is going to gap down mainly because the worldwide index was low. Right now, when the prices opened low, I had bought the put option, and the reason I exited very early was we could have taken the opportunity to make the maximum move in the first 5 minutes itself, mainly because the downfall would have been bought into as well. So when the prices were gapped down, I had bought put option somewhere here. When the prices went down, I had completely exited at these levels. That was the first trade, and I had updated this on my Telegram. The link to my Telegram channel is given in the description below. From there, I expected. The main reason was that 11,600 was a very close by level which we spoke about yesterday. Now this gap down itself was more than enough to understand that 11,600 will be the first support level. From there, I wanted to see how the prices move. When the prices start moving up at this candle, I had specified I want to see if the prices do reverse. They did not reverse and they went way higher than that. Now from here, when the prices did come down, at this candle is the candle where I had taken another call option, and this was an entry somewhere around here, and when the prices went up to these levels, I had exited. This was the second trade on Nifty. Well, after that, when I saw this candle building as well, this candle was a confusion candle, what we call it as a spinning top. This somewhat a doji, but I would call this a spinning top mainly because the close and open are not exactly the same. The stop loss for this was the low level, and my entry was somewhere around here. When the prices did go up, this wasn't a very big trade, mainly because I understood that Nifty is extremely violent and the movement is also extremely violent. So when the prices went up, there was a good opportunity to exit, mainly because the put premium, the call premium that I received was almost 11 rupees here. Now at these levels, where 1100 and 750, that was the supply zone. For if you see yesterday's, we will be talking about this in the second segment. That was the supply zone. From there, where the prices started moving downwards, there were trades taken on the downwards. That was put trades, and I also specified that here the prices should not go below 11,650. Now 11,650 was the reason I had taken a trade here. The prices did not go below 11,650, and that's where the prices started moving up. Now when 11,600, the next thing was I spoke about 11,600 should not be breached. Now if you see this trade here, right now the prices did go. This is a spot chart on future chart. Future chart is what you need to refer to when you're taking options trade. Here the prices breached 11,600, but when the closing happened, they went back up and they closed above that. That was more than enough to understand that this is a supply zone. This is a demand zone from where the prices started moving up. That was the final trade that I took, and the stop loss was just the low of the day. When the prices started moving upwards, this was a big movement that I captured, and I exited here mainly because if you see, Nifty was moving extremely violently, right? So I did not want to waste any of my profits, and I booked early. So now let's get to the second segment where we talk about Nifty and Bank Nifty, what may happen tomorrow. Let's take a look at that as well. First of all, let's take a look at on daily time frame what happened. Now this formation is what we call a inverted hammer, right? Now usually prices should start moving up. Now before that, I would like to tell the US GDP numbers have come better than expected, and the Dow futures have risen by almost 400 points. that might be a plus point for us. We might see a gap up tomorrow. These are the expectations I have. We need to see how Dow closes as well today, and depending on that, at tomorrow's pre-market, we'll get some kind of an input. For me right now, this zone is a proper demand zone where breaching that, it is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible, but it is tough. And the upside for short term is going to be these levels. This is going to be the supply zone, right? This is on the day time frame. Yes, I don't expect Nifty to extremely cover this whole band. Let's take a look at half an hour, what may happen. Now here, yesterday we spoke about what are the different scenarios, right? I had specified if there is a fall, 650, 11,650 levels is what I'm going to see. If it goes below that, 11,600. 11,600 breaks on closing, that is when I will be considering what to do, right? If you see, the whole price movement was somewhere between 11,740 to 11,610 to 20. This is a spot chart. Again, I'm just telling this for reference purposes. This was the whole band where Nifty moved. There was a range created, but the movement was violent. If you see the candle formation, both green and what I mean by green is this white candles and red candles. These are pretty big. Now, if the prices do open higher, okay, if there is a gap up, I want to see from there if it comes down and tests these levels here. What I'm saying is price opens anywhere between this range. I want to see if they sustain here and reverse, or they start moving upwards from there itself. Now, if they start moving upwards from there, the first test zone is going to be somewhere around these levels. Mainly because there was a rejection here. I want to see how it spends time there, or does it break through. If it does break through, I'm going to look at these levels. And if it goes above that, I'm going to reconsider, mainly because already these moves are what I am expecting. On the lower levels, if 11,600 is broken on closing basis, that means 11,550 also is possible. This is a scenario which I'm going to be careful about, but yeah, it is possible. Let's take a look at Bank Nifty now. Bank Nifty, if you see, there is a proper doji formed. Now, doji is a confusion candle. Nor the buyers were in control, nor the sellers were in control. Let's take a look at internals, mainly because what happens usually in doji is who takes control the next day. The candle may be downward candle, something like this also, or the similar candle which happen upward also, right? So this is, I'm just giving you an example so that your understanding becomes better. Now on half an hour, let's try to understand. You can properly draw this resistance line and a support line. If these levels are broken, I'm expecting somewhere around here, but mainly because I'm expecting if there is any gap up. So already the gap up should test. Now, if the prices open somewhere around here like this, the gap up should test this zone, this line. If it does that, and from there if it starts moving upwards, my consideration is going to be, the first level is 24,400, and if that is breached, if it spends some time there and does not completely reverse from there, and then it is broken, then I'm going to be looking at somewhere around these levels here. Now on lower levels, I don't know what is going to happen, right? I'm expecting something positive, but if something happens, if there is negativity and these levels are broken, now we need to consider this whole band here, because this is a band which is extremely important. This gap hasn't been filled. So let me make it more clear. The lower level should test somewhere around here. This, and if that is broken, probably the lower wick, the lower level of that, if that is also broken, depending on how the previous candles are formed, always make sure it is not just a continuation fall. There has to be some time spent at these levels, and then if the fall is happening, then it is a considerable fall, from where we can expect somewhere around here. So I hope you guys have understood what are the different levels I'm looking at, mainly because this is going to help you guys understand what is going to happen tomorrow. And this also helps me understand what kind of trades to be taken depending on the opening. If you guys have any stocks that you want me to look at, you can leave it in the comment section. Till then, I'll talk about Titan, which was one stock that I specified, and mainly because this is a stock that I'm looking at from this whole week perspective. This stock is a part of Stock Market Week Ahead, and the link to that is given in the description below as well. Titan had a big fall in the first 15 minutes itself, and from there it was expected that there might be recovery from the lower levels. There was some kind of recovery, but it did not break through the highs that it had created. Let's take a look at this in terms of the Stock Market Week Ahead perspective. Now, I had specified in my Stock Market Week Ahead, if this line is broken, right? This was one expectation. If this is broken, it will go up. But if this is broken, it is going to see somewhere around this on the first level, which happened yesterday itself. And if those are also taken out somewhere around here, if you see, the prices opened itself below that and they went driving down. So as of now, what my expectations were, they are done. And yeah. So we do not have any stocks as of now. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And I'm more than happy to help you guys. If you have any stocks, leave it in the chat box and I'll look at it tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you.